Oh, I hate the smell of dust when it burns. Let's see, are we here? Are we live yet? Live yet? Does this little piece of crap work? This little test button. Okay, just gotta turn on my speakers without turning off the entire store. That make noise. Uh-oh. Oh, it worked. That test thing worked. All right, awesome. Hello, Aritra. Who's I need attention.exe? Love the smell of flux in the morning. Smells like victory. Indeed. Lewis, I have a question for you, someone says. All right, move the camera back here, so hopefully this works. And yeah, great to be back. Let's get started. So here we have an A1534. Oh, should probably actually have this recording. So here we're starting with an A1534 MacBook. This is the 12-inch model, and the stated problem is that it's dead. So we're just going to confirm that this is actually the problem. Going to plug this thing in and see if it's indeed dead. So plugging it in is going to prompt it to turn on. And it does appear to be dead. So let's open this up. Yeah, I know audio is good for you. I record these so that I can edit them for YouTube later. So I stream, but I also have a separate file that I have recording, and I turn it on and off just so I don't use up too much drive space. I copy it to my laptop and I edit it on the way home. Since my bike got stolen, I have a lot of time to edit on the sidewalk. I mean, on the subway. My A1534 was missing EDB panel power. Dead CPU and most likely a dud screen. Most likely dud screen. Did you try it with with an external monitor, Tim? Did you go full dongle book on it? Yeah. Bikes don't last long in my neighborhood. All right. Okay, so this looks like an 820000045 board, and this is one that very commonly has a sudden death syndrome, and we're going to go over what it is that causes that sudden death syndrome. So I'm going to get the multimeter on. By the way, for any of you who are curious where my multimeter software comes from, that comes from Paul Daniels. He has his own YouTube channel where he also does repairs, and if you're from Australia and you want any type of repairs like the ones I do on this channel done, you should definitely check out Paul Daniels' channel. Paul Daniels' channel is the channel where he uploads all the videos of what he fixes, and he also goes over programming. He even has some one video from a while ago. It's almost an hour, 2-hour long video of just debugging the software that he uses to debugging the software that he programmed for me so that I can see all the board views on screen. And this is his channel. It only has 4.2 thousand subscribers. I think he deserves quite a bit more than that. So when I put this software on screen over here, let me just get everything up so that you can see it. So there's this software that allows me to see what's going on allows me to see everything on the board. I used to have to use software from 1996 called Landrex TestLink. And because of Paul Daniels, I have this software where I can just click any one point and it'll show me every point on the board that it's attached to. I can see the name instantly. You can scroll with the scroll wheel. You can rotate the board easily. And he also set this up recently so that, check this out, this is ridiculous. If I click on a component and then I click PDF, it'll actually bring me to it on the PDF. So I no longer have to move everything out of the way, pull the keyboard into view, and then type it, and then move the keyboard out of the way while I'm in the microscope. You can just click and just do this, bada bing, bada boom, and it just finds me stuff. So thank you very much to Paul Daniels for creating the software, and I highly suggest that you check out his YouTube channel over here. And again, if you're in need of any of these types of repairs in Australia, there's no need to ship them off of the continents when you can simply send them to Paul. So back to what we were doing here. So let's try and figure out what's going on with this board. So I've got my multimeter software on here. This is another piece of software that Paul put together for me that allows me to show you this piece of software that Paul put together allows me to show you the multimeter display on the screen. So I mean, this is just beautiful in so many ways. So check this out. So this over here is going to be the charging port, and the charging port is going to go to a fuse over here. So I can show you what voltage I get when I plug in the charger as I measure at this fuse, F4700. So let's see what I get. Let's try that again. All right, so it looks like I am getting 20 volts, which means that this is going to suck, because the charging voltage is actually showing up and working, but I get nothing on the screen. So the next thing I'm going to want to do, since I am getting 20 volts there, is make sure that there are no trolls in my chat from Boston. Okay, done with that. And the next thing we're going to do is see if the CPU is turning on. Let's see if we have CPU vCore. So where do we find CPU vCore? CPU vCore is going to be somewhere up here, I believe, or is it here? I forget. There. Well, we already unplugged the keyboard, but good thinking there and troubleshooting angle. I forget where CPU vCore is. CPU. Luckily, Paul's software actually has a search. With the old software, you had to know the exact name of a signal, and if you typoed it, well, God help you. This software allows you to kind of have this autocomplete system going. I'm here and I'm late. You'd better not be late. You're late? What? What? You told me you had a... I thought you... You can't be late. Oh. Oh, God. I'm going to be a father. Okay, so back to work here. We're going to check this out. So vCore can be found over here on this capacitor. And where is that capacitor? Okay, right over here. So let's see if the thing is turning on. .00 volts, so it looks like there is no CPU vCore, and it looks like this is not turning on. All right, so let's take the board out and see what it looks like. Buffering is real, WTF. Yes. Why are you streaming so late at night? It's 6 o'clock, man. Where is Paul Daniels? Not sure. I'm late. Okay. I was in the middle of doing something and I forgot what it was. What was I doing? What was I doing? Shit. Wow, what a brain fart. What a terrible stream. I was doing something. I checked to see if I had VCore and it wasn't there. Oh, I was checking the ticket note to see what happened to this. Duh. Man, I'm dumb. Damn, that was stupid. Okay. Let's see. What does it say on the screen? Random shutdown and then dead. Yeah, this is gonna be a dead CPU. All right, so let's. Yeah, randomly shutting down leading to death without water is gonna be something I don't want to screw with. That would suck. Okay, let's take the board out. I'm gonna give this one a quick look. Stuff that's random like that is not stuff that you want to really spend a lot of time debugging because it'll drive you nuts. Not Looney Tunes, but very close. The 20 volts on input means we have PP3V3, R3 feed 0. So this is not going to be one of those easy ones where I'm just removing U4700 and calling it a day. Why don't PC motherboards die randomly? I'm sure some of them do. Especially in the laptops. You just got to look hard enough and you'll find them. Okay. We're going to take a look over this board in the microscope camera. Nothing appears wrong with this. Look at this little board. Yeah, it is cute. This is the size of my hand. This is the size of the MacBook motherboard. Very small motherboard. If you repair a Windows PC in the wrong way, can you turn it into a Mac? I think Razer you can. Razer's trying really hard to be like Apple. But that whole cult of Razer thing. Like, very cute. You copied all the things that suck about Apple and none of the good things about them. That's great. That's exactly what you need to do. Okay, so I'm gonna just see what happens when I plug it in without anything there, and then I'm gonna move on to the next one. Because it's the end of the day. It hasn't been a great day or hasn't been a great week so far, and I have no intention to spend it on a lot too much time on something that's most likely going to be some dead CPU. I'll look at this more detail later, but this is definitely bottom of the pile status here. Okay. I like that. Oh, come on. Get out of there, DC board. The DC inboard on this machine is such an asshole. Come on. Get out of there. Wherever Apple designed this year machine, I want to put their dick in a vice. Thank you, AVE. God bless you, AVE. This is so annoying. What is that Amtag goo flux? That is NC559V2TF. Don't delay. Buy today. I gotta make sure to add more ads. Somebody sent a business email today saying, Lewis, I really liked your streams, but it's dishonest of you shilling things. So I gotta make sure to add another ad in. Another dishonest ad. For dishonest shilling. Of dishonest flux. Okay. Let's plug you in. The UMC PUV core now with everything disconnected. This is the plight of laziness. I'm at a point where literally if the board does not fix itself, I'm not interested in fixing it. This is the height of... because I know this one board's going to be a nightmare. So the CPU V core works. I fucking fixed it. Like that. Look at this. See that? Before it didn't work, and now it has 1.7 volts. So, hey. Am I not good at this or what? Look at that. The board fixed itself. Bada bing, bada boom. Fucking fixed, man. That is just... Next. No, really, I don't know what the hell happened with that one, but... that was pretty cool. That never happens. What's up with this next one? I can't believe a board just fixed itself. How many small parts does the FEMA corrector suck up that it needs a net on it? A lot of them, actually. Look at the size of that board compared to this keyboard Lewis is using. Yeah, this Microsoft keyboard's way too big. Is that Jessa's favorite flux? Yes. Jessa loves Amtech NC559V2TF. You've influenced me to stop using Apple products. Hoping to get rid of my work iPhone soon. Awesome, man. Awesome. How many Apple users do your area need to have an Apple repair place be profitable? It's a good question. I have not counted or surveyed, but a lot. That's how customers think boards are fixed. Yeah. What is your nightmare board to fix? Something like that with some random issue. Anything that starts with random crashing. Something that has failed for no genuine reason, because that's the kind of stuff where you're not going to figure it out through a logical process. You're going to figure it out after replacing like every single thing on the board. And then just slowly finding the one thing that was it. Which is not a profitable thing to do. You made my girlfriend buy an HP and get rid of her MacBook. Hey! No! That's like saying my girlfriend left the guy that abuses her for a guy that's polyamorous or something. That's not... Speaking of polyamory, how many people in this chat are into polyamory? Why do you think you're so good? You can yawn a lot. I'm not good. That's why I'm yawning. If I was good, I would have finished my work before I just got tired enough to yawn. Ugh, that's a retarded thing, says Faye. I agree. Serendipity answered the question in binary. I agree. Against. No, I am not a polyamorous. I have a personal trainer that's a polyamorous. Okay, let's see. What's wrong with this one? So this is a 13-inch MacBook Air, and let's see what it does. So we do have a fan spin, but it does not charge the battery. We don't get a light. Where do you recommend to find dead boards to practice skills on for cheap? I find a lot of damaged boards, but nothing dead. That's the hard part, honestly. Figuring out how to do it is not the hard part. I mean, I guess it is to some extent, but the real hard part is finding stuff. That's a good question. I wish I had a good answer for you. Okay. So this one is not charging the battery, and it should be obvious why. The board has some corrosion here. The board may be savable, but that cable is not. This looks similar to the Staples Tech Dry one. I'm going to try to touch up that joint a little bit. So let me just remove the SSD so it's not in my way. And I will try using my micro pencil on the joint. Why not start something with the repair family? Use it as a certification so people wouldn't try to be Apple certified, but family certified. Huh. Family certified. That's actually an interesting one. Yeah, it's a hard thing, though. I mean, the devices are constantly changing. How would you keep up with something like that? Here, micro pencil. Okay, I found myself a micro pencil. How's it going? For your information, your mic is quiet. Yes, I muted it. For a moment there. Should be back. If you like your something chair, yes, the mesh is holding up. I don't want to be called a certified professional, says Tim Herman. I agree with you. I think this pin is savable. What do people think about the new flaw in CPUs said by Google and Microsoft? Tell me about it. I haven't stayed up on this. I was smiling at your video about the refurb rubber pad fix. Yeah, that one was hysterical to me. Because it's almost like they're trolling, knowing that I'm going to open this stuff someday. It's like they're laughing. It's like they're saying, You're not allowed to work on this, but here, we're going to show you who is. You know what Apple did with the U8900 in my most recent YouTube video? It's kind of like... It's like your girlfriend breaks up with you. And it hurts, but fine, whatever. You're not together anymore. Who gives a shit? Find another one. But then she starts dating this stream of just ridiculous douchebag, low-quality douchebags, and you have to see it on Instagram, and you have to scroll through it every day. It's like, wait a second. You dumped me for that? No! And that's the same thing. That's what I feel like every time I look at these refurb jobs. It's because I get it. You're not going to let me fix it. Fine, whatever. But you let them solder it and put a rubber pad. Oh. It's like those solder joints were green. Green! The fuck? My God. My God. Anyway, I'm going to get a new cable to put there. See if that fixes it after we fixed up that joint. Let's see.
You see the monitor is dying?
This monitor?
Yeah, look at the color.
Isn't there a shortcut in Windows that maybe made it black and white?
I'll see.
Damn, your status is full. You're going to make so much money, you'll be able to complete your headphone set.
No, that comes like that.
You only have one headphone?
No, I have two.
Oh, where's the other one?
They always do that.
Because, like, you want to hear things.
Oh.
You always have one in your ear, too.
Yeah. Oh, I guess.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so, like, you don't
But
need,
it does
you
look
don't
like a
need both
tampon sticking out of his ear. Right?
It really does look like a tampon sticking out of your ear. Why do you have to get... Yeah. Why do you have to get that in white?
Like that.
Who's fucking...
coming at my soul.
How do I... All right. Ah, back. All right, we get a charging light now. And, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing on my mouse? What are you doing on my mouse? Damn it. What are you... Where do you think you're going? And? No. Get back here. No, not in the keyboard. And? Bad and. You're going to get on here so I can take you outside. Damn it. Stop it. Get on the paper towel. And? Get on the paper towel. Yeah, I'll put them under them. Stop trying to crawl on my hand, you little bastard. There we are.
The other one is L2. Nope. Or L6. L6. Did I?
Yeah.
Well, that's what the slot said.
And then I asked you.
Yeah,
And he
that's
was
what
like,
the
yeah.
slot Found it?
Come on, get on the damn pit. Here, Steve. Like, fuck. What a little difficult bastard to catch. All right. Back to work. So, it seems to have a charge light until I put the battery in. When I plug the battery in, the charge light goes away. The things that wind up distracting you. The things that pop out of these MacBooks. Just smash it. What? I'm not smashing the little ant. The ant did nothing to me. All right. Let's take a look at my little junk solder job here. All right. Try you again. We've got a light. And let me plug in the battery. Unplug charger. Plug charger back in. Only 0.6 amp usage, which is no battery recognition. Sad. Is there still hope for right to repair? Yeah, there's a chance of the bill passing. Let's see what we get on PP Bus G3 Hot. 8.59 volts, which means the SMC is running. So remember, the SMC... Oh, this is a different board altogether. Oh. 820000165. Joni says, love the videos, keep it up. Thank you. Oh, What's that? Dead one? Oh. Let's see. This done. Open PDF. Okay. So this chip over here is the SMC. If I hit PDF up here, it's going to show up on this. Come on. This is the System Management Controller. Love the videos. Keep it up. Thank you. Oh, crap. Okay. So the SMC is going to speak to this battery charging chip. Now, when the SMC is capable to speak to the battery charging chip, PP bus G3 hot, which is the voltage the battery charging chip makes, is 8.5 volts. But when it's unable to speak to that chip, it's 8.1 volts. So since I'm getting 8.5 volts in the battery charging chip, I know that the SMC is communicating with this. The way that I know this is every single time this chip is corroded and green and has garbage on it, this chip produces 8.1 volts. But every time this chip is not corroded and does not have garbage on it, this chip produces 8.5 volts. And it's one of those patterns that you realize over time. And that allows me to know that it most likely is able to see a battery. It's just not seeing this one or not charging this one for reasons that I can't quite see. So I'm going to see what it does with a different battery. I'm going to try plugging in another battery and see if it's able to charge it. And if it isn't, then we're going to take the board out. If it is able to charge another battery, then we'll call this battery defunct. And that'll be that. Is board repair worth getting into after all the Apple middle fingers being thrown around? Well, I mean, it's up to you. Do you have customers? If you have customers, yes. If you don't have customers, maybe not. Do you have customers? It's always a question. Okay. This battery actually looks worse than the battery that I had in there, so I don't know why I grabbed this one for testing. All right. Do you charge this battery? 0.6 amps, 0.7 amps, 0.8 amps. Yeah, it's just a bad battery. All right, so we fixed this machine. This machine was a case of a bad battery and also corrosion where the charger data line is attaching to the charger. So this connector that you see that looks nasty, that is on the board view, that's going to be this thing, J9500. And because of Paul Daniels' amazing software, I can just click this one button and it brings me immediately to J9500. Is Paul Daniels not amazing? Does Paul Daniels not make beautiful, amazing, perfect software? And as you can see, the pin that was corroded is, I believe, this one over here for PP bus G3 hot, PP3V42 and sys1 wire. PP3V42 is required for powering the circuit that allows the charger to talk to the SMC. And sys1 wire is actually going to be the line that comes from the charger that goes to the SMC. Without the charger being able to speak to the SMC, it's never going to turn on. So that fixes that, and with that, we can move on to the next one. Someone says perfect software brings you beer. I suppose if Paul Daniels' software doesn't do that, it's probably junk. Paul Daniels rocks. Are you sure it's fixed? Remove the JTAG just in case. Have you removed the JTAG on principle yet? No. How's the new Viniero working out?
Good.
Okay, this is after liquid damage not turning on. This is an A1534. Let's figure out what's wrong with this. There's somebody in my chat who thinks that the seat is supposed to be down, not up in a restroom. What kind of workplace do you take this for? I believe in equality. All right. Serendipity says that you need to be trained to keep the seat down. I believe in equality. Equality. All right, so let's plug the charger in and see what we get. I'm going to open up the schematic. This is another 820-00045 board. Someone says, what should I learn next? Latin? Everyone should sit on the toilet seat, so seat is always down, less splatter. What? You crazy? I'm not sitting on a toilet seat. Oh, thank you. So the description is that the machine does not turn on, and it appears that it actually does turn on just fine. So, next. That one's kind of boring. Model of bidet do you recommend? You know, I would love to answer your question. Unfortunately, I know absolutely nothing about bidets, so I have no ability to answer your question. But I appreciate that. But I really have no idea. I don't know a damn thing about bidets. I've never used one. Lewis, finally, where have you been? I spent the weekend in a very scary state. I spent the weekend in a place where they have places like the Center for Marxist Education, where everybody has blue hair. But luckily, I was able to escape and make it back here. Yes, I did manage to escape and make my way back to New York City. I believe the shop that I work for opened one of our shops near yours. What shop do you work for? I'm curious. What's up with this next one? Hopefully it isn't something that already works, because those are really boring. Tea spilled on MacBook. Customer continued to use it. Eventually died. No power, no light on charge. Okay, let's see what we can do here. Another day, another dead MacBook. Another day, another dead MacBook. Would you ever consider trying to be a Twitch streamer? No, my breasts aren't large enough to make a living off of that. I've always wanted to give you $5 Australian, says Shannon. Now my life is complete. Why, thank you, Shannon. Appreciate that. I see that you did a funny spelling there. I've always wanted to give you... I'm not going to read it the way you spelled it, Shannon. Because if I do, I'll get in trouble. Alex W. says germaphobes don't sit on toilet seats. I sit. I just clean it before I sit on it, and that's a pain. The worst part about putting down the toilet seat is forgetting to and having to help a very mad lady up out of her watery prison. Yeah. I found a good deal on A1286 2012. Am I becoming a smooth brain? Don't buy that thing, man. Computer answers. Huh. How many stores does that play? How are they doing? Are they doing well? I don't believe I've heard of Computer Answers. Are they happy? Are they excited? Are they printing money? Or are they sad? Let's see. Yeah, I haven't seen this place. Any deal-breaking issues with the 8203536? No, that one's fine. Watching repair videos while doing repairs. Don't forget to advertise your gaming channel. Oh, I do have a gaming channel. Andrei Stefanov says, thank you for all the educational videos. You rock. Thank you. I appreciate that. What kind of labels do you use? They are unremovable. They're fine. These are removable labels. Like 1 in every 100 labels we get was the label that was sitting in the sun or something, and then it winds up not being removable. But that's like 1 in 100. Most 99 out of 100 of them are removable, and it's worth it for how easy they are to, they make life easy and happy and pappy. And how much has HP degraded over time? They haven't degraded much because HP has always made garbage computers for the most part. At least during my lifetime, like HP has always been shit. It's not like, look at how good HP was in 2004, and then they sold. No, HP always sucked. The HP had some good EliteBook line, but the rest sucked. So we're drawing 0.02 amps in the power supply, so this thing is dead. First time I've caught Lewis on stream. Awesome. You've seen the ZenBooks. Thoughts? Are they worthy compared to the MacBook? ZenBooks are shit. They are complete shit. At least the ones that I've tried. The charge port on them is such garbage. I mean, you can break that thing. Like a bird shitting on that thing would break it. It's absolute. The ones that I've tried have been garbage. I haven't tried one in the past year, but all the ones that I tried that were like 2 years old, oh my god, utter horseshit. Junk. Is that an EEPROM programmer next to his power supply? It is. Do you know how to fix dead pixels in an iPhone? What? Oh, on an iPhone 2? Am I reading that right? Bye-bye. The only thing that I could think of to do to an iPhone 2 is like smash. Oh, that thing is. Never had to. Let's see. Why do you not use terms already established by other industries for right to repair, like remanufactured and core? I don't know. It's a good question. I don't. Watching your live stream from the hospital. Enjoy your videos. This is a lovely way to help my day in here go by. Ouch. What are you doing in the hospital? Jeez, that sucks. I'm sorry. I hope you're getting better. What about Dell? How far have they degraded? It depends on what you buy, really. Like, cheap Dells always sucked. The higher, like the stuff like the Latitude D610 or D620, those are machines that are very difficult to break. But the cheap low end Inspirons have always been crap. It's not. Because of Lewis, I learned how to micro solder. Thanks, Lewis. Well, thanks, Dan the plumber. I'm glad you learned something. Okay. HP Pavilion is pure crap, someone says. I agree with that. I agree with that, as Freedom Tunes would say. So the liquid is over here, which means that the garbage on the board is going to be on the other side on that section. Oh my God. What? Disgusting. 1 a.m. in Germany and have to get up at 7, but I'm still here. Go to sleep, Fabio. Oh man. This is garbage. Dell had a bunch of laptops that you just needed to operate a lot and all the screws fell out. No need to bring a screwdriver for repairs. Which ones are you thinking of? What model? This is disgusting. This is as disgusting as the Cambridge, Massachusetts Center for Marxist Education. Oh my God. Gross. Disgusting. Puke. Ugh. The fuck did you do to your computer? What the fuck did you do? Where do you even begin with shit like this? This is one of those boards that really should get put in the cleaner before I do anything. So I'm going to just put a little bit of flux and hot air just to heat everything up. I mean, just to, make sure that nothing falls off in the cleaner. Reheat, get them solder joints back on where they're supposed to be. But after that, it's going to get tossed into the ultrasonic. Captain Heat says this looks like failed communism. It sure does. I'm not touching that without a glove. Hell no. What do you think in general is the whole repair business on the line now with the Apple things going on? Thinking about really starting my business in the Netherlands, but got cold feet. Again, if you have customers, do go for it. If you don't, then I do know of some people in the Netherlands that are going to give you a run for your money, though. Duke is in the Netherlands, so, you know. I would not want to be next door to Duke. I definitely would not want Duke as my competition. That would, from the forum, yeah. I definitely wouldn't want to compete if I was in the Netherlands. Between Duke and Roy, the other student that I had, People's Republic. Mystery Nad says, have you ever thought of offering a conformal coding service on MacBooks? No. Did you use GNU Linux back in the day? Yes. Before I cared about the value of my time, I used Linux on a regular basis. Then at one point I realized, hey, every time I want to do something new, it would take 30 seconds to implement in Windows and takes 3 hours to learn in Linux. And I stopped. Now that newer Macs don't have ASD, how do you run service diagnostics, or do you never? I don't. I only use ASD for finding sensor failures. Now I just don't use ASD for finding sensor failures. Alright, so after that I'm going to run it through the ultrasonic cleaner. I just don't want to run it through the ultrasonic cleaner. The whole point of this is I don't want it to go through the cleaner while the board itself is, you know, falling apart to pieces. What do you think of Lenovo ThinkPad L5XX is? I've never tried the L series. T series has been good, but I've never tried the L series. What is the oldest toy or showpiece that you own? I don't know what a showpiece is. I don't know if we will be able to compete with you. I give us a solid month or two before we have to shut down that shop in New York. Are you talking about the Computer Answers one? Where's your store, out of curiosity? And I mean, the thing is, there's a lot of room to compete. You know, if somebody has a PC, I just say no. If they have a software issue, usually I say no. If we don't even do iPad screen repair. There's a lot of stuff that you could do. But then again, the people that do the stuff I don't do have been here for like 10 or 15 years already, so. If you were next door to Duke, it would be easy to eliminate him as competition. Just pretend to be a Chinese supplier and sabotage him with fake GPUs. Yeah, I don't know how he's doing with that whole GPU thing. All right, so this board's got to go in the ultrasonic cleaner. So I'm going to turn on the low pass filter so I don't deafen you all with that annoying aggravating noise. And there we are. So 4.52 kilohertz low pass. About the 3662 random crashes, have you seen talking about a software fix or workaround? I'll take a look at that. The issue seems to be that the V-core goes down. I just haven't figured out why the V-core happens to go down. Alright, so ultrasonic is doing what ultrasonic does. Let's take a look and see what you had to say here. You know, okay, so they're moving some Thunderbolt kexts. I'll have to check that out. But what I've noticed that vCore goes down at that time. Would you get back into Linux if it wasn't so time consuming? Maybe. My main issue with Linux is that every time I want to do something that's basic, it takes forever. It's like you have to refigure out how to do everything, and it's not basic. But let's just say I wanted to use something like RX5 or a compressor plugin or something. But okay, and somebody said, well, you can use it in Wine, or here's what you can do with jack audio, and getting jack audio to work was such a convoluted nightmare. But even if you get all that, okay, let's say I want to edit video. In Vegas, you just add VST plugin, and it just shows up. With Kden Live, how am I going to add a VST plugin? Oh, you can't. Oh, you can only use the ones that are built in. Oh, the ones that are built in suck. Oh, you can't buy ones for it. Everything is limited. And it's like, well, no, you can use this thing that's somewhere on GitHub, and then you get the thing that's somewhere on GitHub, and it doesn't work as well as the thing that you could pay for, and you spend half an hour figuring out how to install it, and it's just, and the thing is, people say, well, no, you just haven't researched it enough, or no, you can do this thing and make it work, and it's like, but why? That's the question that I couldn't answer for myself between 2003 and 2015. Between 2003 and 2015, I never bothered to ask, why am I doing this to myself? Why? I mean, because the thing is, if I spend the time to figure out how to do that, there better be something good in it for me. Because that's time that I'm not spending dating. That's time I'm not spending playing a game. That's time I'm not spending on my business. That's time I'm not spending enjoying my life. So there better be a damn good reason for it. And the reasons just weren't good enough. And then with Gentoo, which I was using for a while, Portage stopped working properly. Was like I would try to emerge something, and it would say this conflicts with that, which conflicts with this, which conflicts with that, which conflicts with this, which conflicts with that, and I gave up. I was done. And now, like, this is the thing. So I have this ThinkPad P50 here. If I use Linux with that, I don't even get audio on HDMI. No HDMI audio. And I use a DAC at home, and I have a little box that turns HDMI into coaxial. Just gone. If I want to use Linux, that's the thing. I'd pay for stuff for that. I would pay for a good plugin. I would pay $200 to get HDMI audio on that working without an extra box. Can't. No option. Now, I do have the option of coding it myself, but that would require that I had a brain that was functional enough to be able to program, which, unfortunately, I don't have. My brain is just barely functional enough to run little jumper wires and operate an ultrasonic cleaner that has a Dogecoin sticker on it. So that's what I do. Okay, we're going to clean that board off and see if it works. There's a good chance that it'll actually work once it's cleaned again. Of course there's HDMI audio. Okay, make it work on a ThinkPad P50. Go, go. The point of doing it is doing it. No, I got shit to do. Linux isn't this hard anymore, still challenging, but not like back then. Does anybody remember using NDIS wrapper to get Wi-Fi back in before 2004? Oh man, I remember using NDIS wrapper to get my Wi-Fi card to work. My Inspiron 8200 with my little PCMCIA slot. Those were the days. But no, really, get Isotope RX5 to work in Kden Live. Go, go, go. And do it faster than I can in Vegas. Oh, it's just not worth it anymore, you know? It's like the whole idea of it being really, really cool because it's open source and free and freedom and all that, it's one thing, but Like I'm 29 years old, you know, and just want it to work. I don't care if it costs a few $100. And I'm actually willing to spend a few $100s to not read documentation. And that flips people's heads. It's like, what? But no, really. Like not sitting at my computer fucking with it for hours, because this is what I do all day. Like my entire day is fucking with this stuff. My entire day, like for 8 to 11 to 15 hours for several years, was spent staring at a PDF, staring at a board view, going, what is the relationship between PM Sleep S4L and RTC Reset L? What is the relationship between SM Bus, SMC, G3, SDA, and PP Bus G3 Hot? Like after 15 hours of that, do you really think that when I go to actually do a video and record that I want to do anything other than click, works, click, works? Because if after all day of doing this, you think that I'm going to sit there and try to figure out the interface to jack audio, or like why this routing is not working the way it is, or enable this program to go to that program, to this program, to that program, or no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. And I put a lot of effort into it. You could see all my earlier videos, what the screen capture was done in Linux. It's just, I like the fact that I just tack something on an open broadcaster. Oh, plugin just works. No whine. No figuring out how to get VST working in a wrapper in Linux. No compiling a plugin from GitHub only to figure out that it's half as good as something that would be paid for, and that I can't even implement that plugin into this video editing software without adding this plugin to that. Or just, no. It's not how I'm spending my day. That's not. Fuck that. All right. A1708 liquid damage. What I think people don't get is that it's just like this is supposed to be the like this whole thing, like the video recording part. This isn't the part that's supposed to be hard. You know, and the thing is, I don't mind if people use it. Like, I'm not telling other people what to use as their operating system. I'm not even going to tell somebody that uses Mac OS to stop using Mac OS. But when somebody's like, Lewis, you should use Linux, it's like, okay, cool. Come here. Here's exactly what I want. Here are the specifications. Go figure it out for me. No, you need to figure it out. Yeah, but you're the one who said that I should use it. So you should figure it out for me. That's the way I see it. Like if somebody's telling you that you should change your workflow or that you should change the way you do everything, the person that's making that claim is the one that should have to sit there and get everything to work exactly the way that you had it before. Okay. Lewis should keep to repairing hardware and let software professionals build software. Definitely. I cannot code shit. I can't even make a tic-tac-toe game. I tried to make a tic-tac-toe game in Python. It was so awful. I cannot code software. Install Gentoo. Lulz. I liked Portage back in 2003. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's open the next one. Someone said that's why I don't work on computers for a living, so I can play around with Linux. How do you figure out board circuitry without schematics? I have schematics. Does Amtex flux get sticky after you solder with it before you clean it off? Kind of. Where is your Pepe? My Pepe is somewhere behind me. Oh, I need to get that little tool that lets me open this thing. Grr. Someone says you have to be fair. Video editing and live streaming with real-time audio is not a typical use scenario for most people. Yeah, but that's why I don't use Linux. Temple OS. Oh God. Is Temple OS the schizophrenic OS? Okay, let's see what this one does. This is an A1708 machine with an 820000875 board. And this boots with a cross through the screen. I wonder if your SSD is dead. Well, let me get a test drive to boot into and we'll see. Don't delay. Diagnose today. Oh, come on. Where's my test disk? Surely it's somewhere. Here, little test disk. Oh, thank you.
Try this.
Is this the good one?
It's working. Yeah.
Wait, this is the troll one. This is the real one.
Yeah.
Yeah, alright. Okay. Dongle Book. Dongle Book Pro. Don't delay. Buy today. With a Dongle Book Pro, you can spend $80 for a piece of crap that allows you to attach standard USB drives. I'm going to hold down Option and try to boot off of my new SSD. Alright, so the screen's got lines in it. That's still good. Let's see if it'll boot into Sierra. Why do you have lines in you, little screen? Did the Jellycomb keyboard fail? Oh, that failed a long time ago. Yeah, I think I spilled something in it. That's the only keyboard I've spilled something in. Alright, so this appears to have a broken screen. And you can see the crack in the corner. That's no good. Broken screen. And it doesn't boot into a proper operating system. Proper operating system. Prop hopper. And it does not see the internal SSD. You broke your SSD and your screen. Ouch. That is some unlucky crap right there. Well, I don't have an SSD to test this with. I don't have an internal drive, so I guess there's not much I can do there. You also have to figure out if they'd be willing to pay for at least the screen. Let's leave some notes on this dongle book. Have you tried Shotcut? Will Shotcut allow me to use VST plugins for editing? Audio features. We have filters. Basic compressor. It's cool. It looks like it would do basic stuff. Jack transport sync. Does that mean that I could use Jack Audio plugin? Any plugin that I could put into a Jack Audio chain? Maybe then it could be decent. Yeah, but again, it's like relearning it. What's the gain? Probably. It's definitely worth checking out if Windows ever bothers me too much. But yeah, I'd probably be looking at a downgrade in audio editing stuff. How can you tell if the SSD is broken? Well, I would take it out and try it in another machine. Or I would try a working SSD in this one. Or I would try something like DD Rescue. See, this is where Linux comes in handy. I would use a bootable DD Rescue disk, and I would try to copy it. If it didn't recognize that SSD, at that point, I would want to see if it is the machine or the SSD, by plugging in a new SSD. If plugging in a new SSD doesn't work, then perhaps SSD reset is stuck low on this board, or the SSD is not receiving the voltage it needs to turn on. If it does see another SSD, but it won't see this SSD, and I can't recognize this SSD even booting into a Linux disk with DD Rescue, then perhaps it would be time to consider that the SSD may be bad. But either way, I don't have an SSD for this machine because they're ridiculously, insanely, over-the-top expensive. And nobody in their right mind would ever want us to replace it for that reason. So that's a good question. But the first things first is, do they actually want to fix it? Because if they don't want to fix it, then there's not really even a point for me to find an SSD to see if that's the issue with it, after all. If they say, because the screen by itself is going to be fairly expensive. That's not a cheap screen. Apple should switch to using M2 SSDs. How dare you recommend Apple use anything that's a standard? How dare you suggest Apple use anything that's a standard? What the is wrong with you? You crazy? All right. Up next, we have a touch bar. And this touch bar comes with one serving of previous repair attempt. Don't delay. Make Lewis's job harder today. And go. Oh. XKCD's comic about standards is on point. I like that comic. 13 things, there should be a standard. I'm going to make the standard. 14 things. Ah, crap, I need the damn tool again to open the bottom of the case. I think most people would disagree on where to start. Yeah. That's a question where it's pointless to even bother. What I notice is that one person's going to say, you should start on this language. So you start on it, but then somebody else says, I'm going to start on this language. Then you start on it, so somebody else says, you should start on that language. So essentially, if you keep changing over every time somebody tells you what language you should start on, you're never actually going to start on any of them. So All right. It's been open sesame. Oh, hell fucking no, man. Suck my dick. Nope. Maybe Jessa puts up with this shit, but I'm not. You know what? Fuck you. No. Fuck you. Fuck you. I see flux everywhere. Fuck you. This goes straight back. And you're paying for return shipping. What? GTFO. Let's see. Should I even bother? Like, what the fuck? Why? I don't know. I'll let the chat vote. Next board or fix this one? I'll let the chat vote. What does chat say? Language is only censored on the main channel. Live channel is cursing. Don't let your kids watch my live streams. I will curse on them. Someone says make the Mac great again. Go all in. Okay, fine. You all want to torture me. I don't even have donor boards for this one yet, so there's not much I can really do with it. I have a couple of chips. All right, we're gonna fix it. We'll make this. Let's go. So which board is this? I guess I'll take it out to figure that out. Let's. Oh, you are paying such a fee if this is not fixable. Ship this shit back with a hammer, someone says. Accidentally hit it with your car. Turn it into a PC. This doesn't deserve to be turned into a PC. So basically, to fix Apple stuff, you need broken Apple stuff. Yeah, that's kind of the way this works. Yep. Who tortured that poor little MacBook? This poor little MacBook was tortured by... Let's see. Someone donated... What? What is that little symbol that I just saw on the screen? That said... Huh. Hmm? I saw something crazy there. $342 something. Ah. $342. Whoa. Oh, wait. 342 Indian rupees, which is $5. Okay, a little less exciting, but cool. Cool. I gotta stop assuming that's a dollar when I look at it on the screen. Okay, so according to the notes here, we took it to You Break Guy Fick. Fuck! Oh, man. Why? Why? This is gonna be a cluster. This is gonna be garbage. This is gonna be garbage. Alright. So many screws in these touch bars. Okay. What did these people do? Lewis, stop now. Next, please, someone says. I will figure this one out. And then get a burrito. What's the odds something was poorly soldered such that an internal trace gets fried? I don't think an internal trace would get fried from bad soldering. From Germany, it's 2 a.m. and I want to see the magic happen, says Maria Wagner. Maria, you're going to see some magic happen. We're going to make this great again. Figure this out and then treat yourself to a burrito. I got flux in my arm. Be right back. Dagnabbit. What's that song you're singing, Jim? That sounds familiar. Weird that you're turning that Mac into a PC thing start, that someone actually tried to make that argument. There's a video that I did. I think it was when I came back from the Right to Repair lobbying event around May of 2015. I did a video where I said I was returning from the lobbying event. It's about an 18-minute video, sometime around May or June of 2015, and it came from there. I think I told the story of it in that video. Hi 217 says, you break, I fix, but not really. I just break it more and then send it to Lewis for him. Then I say, you break, I fix. Yeah, somebody's got it. I think you could drop a burrito on the machine and probably improve its current state. I'm watching this work and it's soothing. I'm irritated beyond words with my coworkers, but Lewis is healing me. What's going on with your coworkers and why are you irritated at them beyond words? Charge stores by hours plus flat fee. That's a good idea. The more you screw up, the more I get paid. So what is the Right to Repair trying to get these companies to do? Release documentation. Release documentation, sell parts. Not really release so much as just bill us for it. I would like the ability to purchase documentation from a company and the ability to buy parts without them getting confiscated by customs. I have gone from being a dog father to cat daddy. Yuck. What? There's no yuck in having a kitty cat. I love my kitty cat. How dare you say bad things about the kitty cats? Okay. Cats are evil. Only Serendipity is the only one in this chat that has an evil kitten. She scratches people. She'll just walk up to them and swipe at them. Evilly. But my kitties are pure, lovely, kind angels. Angels. Alright, it looks like the display actually may be corroded on this already. Yeah, so the display is already corroded before we get to everything else that's fucking broken on this machine. I should probably get an idea of whether or not it's even turning on first. Because maybe it's turning on, but there's just nothing on the screen. That's always a possibility. Why are you so cruel to ask Lewis to fix that pile of crap, somebody says. Yeah, they are mean. Does Mrs. Lewis get on with Mr. Clinton? Mrs. Lewis and Mr. Clinton get along just fine. Mrs. Lewis and Mr. Oreo get along very well. There's this one cat I have that likes to it's so weird. He has this fetish where he likes to lick women's armpits. It's so weird. It's so creepy. But he loves licking women's armpits. It's like the fucking Schneiderman of cats. Okay. You noticed how villains always have a cat? Coincidence, someone says. I have. But yeah. Mr. Clinton is a big fan of Mrs. Lewis. And that's how you know that you have a good Mrs. Lewis, because the cats always know. The cats can always pick out whether you've got a good Mrs. Lewis or some bitch Mrs. Lewis that's got to go. If you're ever going out with a woman and the kitty doesn't like them, just run. Just run. Goes both ways, I suppose. Going out with a guy and the kitty doesn't like him, run. This kitty knows best. Okay, so we've got the board out of the computer. First thing I want to do is see how much power it's using over USB-C. Now I think that Paul has some USB-C hub thing over here that allows me USB-C amp meter. I just don't know where he keeps it on his desk. If he's smart, he keeps it someplace where I won't be able to find it so that I won't lose it. And I'm pretty sure that's what he does. I should buy my own so I don't have to look through his desk to find this stuff. Good night. I have no idea where he keeps the USB-C amp meter. Frig it. We'll just figure out if it has CPU vCore and go from there. Okay. I do have to take the charging ports out of the computer to do that. Someone says she's playing. That's how my kitty says hello. What kind of kitty do you have that your cat says hello by scraping people? Somebody likes to make fun of my cats in this chat. There's a person in this chat that likes to make fun of my cats. Yet when people visit that person who's making fun of my cats, her cat will scratch them, will chase them when they try to pet and scratch them. And what does my kitty do? What my kitty does when somebody visits is they walk up to them and go, meow, and then he nuzzles his head against their ankle and goes, meow, meow, meow. Yeah. I think some people are just jealous of the fact that my cat, unlike their cat, is domesticated. I have a very domesticated cat. He's a good boy. Whereas her cat sees men come over, or any type of guest really, and goes and scrapes and scrapes and scrapes and scrapes. Somebody's got a little fourth wave feminist man hating cat. But and again, you got to look at where the cat grew up. Got to look at where the cat grew, and it'll kind of become obvious. Okay, so let's plug this thing in. Let's see if we get CPU vCore. First thing I got to do is figure out which 820 number this board is. Looks like this is an 820-00093, which I probably don't have a schematic for. Yay! Boo. That would suck. I hope I have a schematic for this. Okay, board schematics, 820. Fuck. Alright, so I'm going to use the schematic from the year before, 820-00239, because I don't have a schematic for this one. We're going to hope that it's similar. It's close enough, right? Close enough. It's probably going to work. Same difference. Open PDF. Bada bing, bada boom. Someone says someone needs to domesticate Lewis. Lewis is well domesticated. Lewis and Lewis's cat are both very well domesticated creatures. I don't need no domesticating, lady. Okay, so what I want to do is find CPU vCore. And I think that I can find CPU vCore along one of these things over here. Yeah, my kitty is awesome. Nobody be talking. Okay. So, is this thing turned? I have a feeling this thing's turning on, but the screen's not working. And that's wrong. Not even getting CPU vCore. That sucks. All right, let's go through our... So firstly, there's a bunch of reflow-looking fuckery over there, and let's figure out what that's for. So U7800, which has a bunch of flux under it, that's a power management unit. Banjo. What's Banjo for? What does Banjo do? So Banjo talks to the battery. Oh, great. PMIC control. You rehotted PMIC. Did you seriously? Alright, so it looks like a bunch of flux was put by a PMIC chip. And is this an underfilled chip? Tell me you're an underfilled chip so I have an excuse to throw this board in the garbage. No, it doesn't look like it's underfilled. That's just crappy flux around it. All right, corrosion. What are you? You interest me. I like corrosion that was missed. Hey, how's it going? How's that corrosion doing? Let's find out what you're for. What is that little thing for? So that's a capacitor along Pepe Bus G3 hot. So first thing I'm going to do is see what voltage I get on Pepe Bus. How is my Pepe Bus doing? And my Pepe Bus is a straight up 13 volts, so I can ignore whatever is broken right by that capacitor. My best guess here is that somebody attempted a reflow of this PMIC. And when they did reflow that PMIC, they fucked my board. If that's the case, this can go straight back. Oh no. No touch bar with prior repair attempt on it for me. what does it mean when you say underfill chip? Underfill is something that goes under the chip so that and surrounds it, like this stuff. So this is underfill. Let's get this in the side. Okay, see this? That's sealant that goes under the chip. You can't see the solder balls. There's just sealant everywhere. That's called underfill. And people who reflow underfilled chips are morons, because you can't melt the solder balls without the underfill expanding, which causes all the balls to pop out. So people who reflow underfilled chips are deranged. They're dumb. They're very, very dumb. And if you ever get a board where somebody's trying to do that, you just toss it out and say bye-bye. So I have a feeling that somebody tried to reflow that. And if that's the case, from what I see, this is most likely a waste of time. Now I see another chip over here that has corrosion on it. I want to see what you do. What do you do? So I see that reflow occurred. I have a feeling this board was not even taken out of the case. I have a strong inkling that this board was never taken out of the case. And that chip is just for sensors, so that's boring. Yeah, that's boring. So that's just for a bunch of sensors. First thing I'm going to do is I kind of want to see what happens to this board after it makes the trip through the cleaner. I think that this board is one of those boards that may have a chance to actually be... I just want... Let's put it for a trip through the cleaner, because I don't think this board's ever had a chance to be cleaned before. Let's make you clean again. Could you briefly explain why under-soldered chips are bad? Under-soldered? Not sure what you mean. Why don't I... So what you're saying is do it and send it to Lewis to fix. No! Mark it as a donation board. That's a good idea. Why does Amtech Flux say save $4 but only discount the older Flux $3? Are you trolling me? Probably fucked up the website. It's cheap enough. Just buy it. I probably screwed up the website. I edit that website usually at 2 or 3 in the morning. I don't understand math very well. Damn, that heatsink is stuck hard to the board. Come on, pop off, bro. Jesus. Okay, looks that's not the stock thermal compound, so this probably already had the heatsink replaced. Which means this thing probably already got ultrasonically cleaned, which means everything I'm doing here is a waste of time. Actually, no, it wasn't ultrasonically cleaned because it has the corrosion by the sensor I see. Is the Mini Pro for MacBook board repairs? Yeah, I use it like 1 every 200. Do you build your own site in WordPress? No. Let's see. Here we're gonna take off all these damn shields in case there's corrosion under them. Although there almost never is. Welcome to Macland, where your SSD and your RAM are soldered to the board. Would any of you watching the stream purchase a computer where your RAM and your SSD were soldered onto the motherboard? Would you ever buy a computer where your RAM and SSD were permanently soldered? Everything here is just soldered, soldered, soldered. Apple's obsession with soldering everything to the board. The funny thing is, I think this is a dual core. This looks like a dual core to me. This is a really expensive dual core machine. All right. Bada bing, ultrasonic it. Absolutely no, someone says. Huh. Did I ever turn off my high pass? Oh my god, I never turned off my high pass. And my low pass. Wow. Why didn't you all tell me that I never turned off my low pass from before? I wasn't giving any of you anything over 4.5 kilohertz. That must have been so sad. We were listening to... Okay. So do any of you remember the board that I was working on earlier? The disgusting one? Let's see what the disgusting one looks like now out of the cleaner. So this was that Retina board from earlier. Now, some of these chips still look nasty. I would want to replace whatever is in this area. This chip, this stuff, that capacitor, touch up that capacitor. But let's see if the thing actually works. Did the ultrasonic cleaner do its job? Did it make this board great again? And the answer is no. Because it's still dead. All right. Or is that just because there's dust on the DCN board? Yep, it's taking 0.33 amps, which means that it is quite dead. So, while we're ultrasonicing that other board, let's go through and try to make this 8204924 board great again. All right, so let's find the 8204924 schematic. Okay. The first rail that has to be present is PP3V42. PP3V42 is required for the charger to talk to the SMC. So let's check out PP3V42 on L7095. If you're kind of confused as to why PP3V42 is needed, check out any of my older videos on why PP3V42 is the first rail that's necessary for anything to work. Instead of getting 3.42 volts on PP3V42, we're getting 0.5 volts, which is not good enough. So let's find out how this circuit works by using Paul Daniels' software to browse through the schematic. As you can see, as soon as I hit the PDF button, it brings me to that circuit. Don't delay. Check out Paul Daniels' software today. Now, on U7090, on pin 6, we're supposed to be getting the input voltage, which is going to be the 18 volts from my charger. And let's see what we get on that pin. Now, there's a lot of dust and pubes in that section of the board. That's what do we get on pin 2. And we get 16 volts. All right. I would be expecting 18 volts, but whatever, I'll settle for my 16. And it looks like on pin 8, we're supposed to be getting voltage that is going to allow the chip to turn on. SHDN stands for shutdown, and if you look up the datasheet for the LT3470 AED, you'll find that you need to be getting voltage at pin 8 in order for it to turn on. So let's check out pin 8 and see if we're getting the voltage that we need. Actually, I was saying pin 2 before instead of pin 6. I meant pin 6. That was my bad. But I measured the right one anyway. Looks like we're getting voltage there, so it is being told to turn on. So the next thing that could be causing this to not create PP3V42 is a short circuit to ground. So let's see if there's a short circuit to ground on my PP3V42 line. It looks like there's a short circuit of 0.3 ohms. 0.3 ohms is a pretty bad short circuit. So what I would do is I would go back to the area that had the original corrosion and see if anything there could be causing my short circuit. Is anything there on the PP3V42 line? Now the nastiest component that I can see on this board is this one right here. Right over here. This is the most disgusting, despicable component. And if I remove it, yoink, I bet my board will be great again. And it is great again. As you can see over here, I'm getting a light on my charger. I'm getting 0.5 amp usage on my power supply, and the board is turning on. So now what's next to do is repeal and replace these components around that are nasty so that none of them fail again. Lewis, don't component shame. I will component shame. I will component shame as much as I'd like. That's what we do here. Don't delay. Component shame today. Don't delay. Shill today. Okay, so I need to find another 4924. We're going to steal some components from that donor board and put it on this one. And then this will be a lovely, beautiful board once again. You use soldered SSD and RAM more than you think. Most computers have it. My T50 does my P50 does not have soldered SSD or RAM. Neither does the computer that I'm streaming this video from. Neither will any computer that I buy in the foreseeable future. My phone has soldered SSD and RAM, but I want my phone to have soldered SSD and RAM so that it can be a reasonable size and portable. But my laptop? Fuck that. And unlike the crap top, the crap book, the scam book, spell Max backwards, by the way, my phone has a card slot that I can use to expand its memory, which is more than you could say for the new MacBooks. You don't get an SD card, you get nothing. You get nothing with these machines, man. They give you shit. A big issue with Apple is when other companies see them getting away with this stuff, they think it is okay to do it as well. That are a 10 or 20 gauge needle on the flux. To be honest with you, I have no idea. I would have to log into the site that I purchased it from to properly answer that question, which is something, unfortunately, I'm not willing to do right now, as I must solder. But it's something. It's a gauge, I'm sure. All right, let's take these crap resistors off the board, and we're going to replace them with something better. That chip is junk. That chip's going to go. Some of that stuff is actually savable. But the stuff at the root, around the root cause of the short wasn't. Someone says the notch is annoying. What notch? Oh, you mean this thing since I turned off the... Here, there's your treble back. You got your treble back. Most embedded devices use soldered RAM and storage like in your car. But there you can replace the part at least. I mean, yeah, but I don't edit video in my car. Like, I should say that. I don't edit video with the car. Different expectation. The notch that the iPhone 10 has. You mean the pointy-haired boss hairline? Alright, so I'm going to have to redo that pad since that was junk. Yes, folks. Durable. Oh, jumper wire. Crap. Forgot the jumper. Thanks for reminding me. That was dumb. Don't forget your jumper wire. Don't forget your jumper fire. Could you please make a video explaining the use of the data migration kit? Step 1, plug it into the board. Step 2, plug the other end into your computer. Step 3, recover data. All that thing does is make it show up as a drive. So, since it makes it show up as a drive, all you need to do to make that thing work is... What was I saying? Oh yeah, all you have to do to make that thing work is just plug it in. It's like that Glade commercial. Plug it in, plug it in. That's Eric Schneiderman's catchphrase. Plug it in, plug it in. But Eric, I don't want to sleep with you. I don't care. I'm the New York Attorney General. And I'm going to plug it in if I damn well want to plug it in. Okay, it's probably too soon to make that joke yet, but... Ugh. Do I spot an uncertified jumper cable? You sure do. You can tell Eric Schneiderman on me. First time seeing you live, thanks. I appreciate what you do. Greetings from France. Awesome. Do your hot tweezers work, or are they still out? My hot tweezers, I don't think my hot tweezers ever died. I just never use hot tweezers, so Paul uses them all the time. Can you recommend something cheaper than an 861 DW? That is the cheap thing. So I used to have a HAKKO FR801, which cost me about $650. And then people always said, Lewis, that's too much money. What do you recommend? And then I recommended the Quick, which is about half as much. So the Quick is the cheap one. Now, if you want to wait, in a few days, the 861 DW is going to be going down in price because I managed to get the price that I was originally getting before they became hard to get due to the demand going up. So my Quicks are going to be cheaper if you're willing to wait a little bit. Schneiderman is in a whole bunch of trouble. Schneiderman fucked himself, and it's not even the things that he did. It's the fact. It's how outspoken he was against people that did things very similar to what he did. It's always like the more outspoken they are, the more of a cunt they are in their own life. That's how it is. That's what I've noticed with people like Schneiderman. Ah, crap. That is some crooked ass. There we go. Bada bing, bada boom. That's still a crooked ass chip. Okay, fine. We'll uncrooked it for you. I see no MacBook, says Acousticus. I see a MacBook. Uh-oh. Damn it. Crooked it again. Alright, that's about as good. That's a nice looking little chip up there. Oh. That damn resistor. Actually, wait, no, that's not shorted. That's a trace line in there. Yeah, that's not shorted. It's almost burrito time. All right. Sorry, I had to take a phone call. Had to take a phone call. So let's see how this works. Do we get a pictar on the screen? Pictar on the screen? Show me a picture. Show me a question mark folder. Question mark folder. Yep, question mark folder. This is good to go. Don't delay. Buy today. Got my little heatsink here, which is cold alcohol that I put on the CPU. And you could never do that with the older machines like Core 2 Duos. They would burn entirely. So this one is good. Some testing and reassembly, and what's the strangest thing you found in a laptop? Caterpillar. Caterpillar would probably be near the top of my list. Caterpillar is definitely a weird thing to find inside of a customer machine. Caterpillar is definitely not what I would expect to find inside of a customer machine. Okay, what was the thing that he asked me to do on the phone? We'll be right back to the stream in just one moment. Actual work is interrupting me. Be right back. I suka blat. Peas diets. Okay, what's next? Oh, well, I'm about to get out of here, actually, so there is no what's next. So, yeah, that's about it for tonight. And as always, I hope you learned something. Thank you for watching, and hopefully there'll be something more interesting to do in the next stream.